Oh my goodness. Hello there. I'm your Mami Loso. Please like and subscribe at your YouTube channel, Katriba Studio. Meanwhile, I will be launching my new feature episode. Make sure to click and the notification bell to be updated. Shout out to our new subscriber, Awi Kayon. Good morning. For our topic, exploring the power of mother's love, celebrating Mother's Day after loss. So let's first talk about the power of mother's love for child development. Are you ready? Are you ready? The importance of mother's love cannot be overstated. Yes? From the moment a child is born, even from the moment of conception, mother's love serves as a guiding light, nurturing them physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Here are some key aspects why mother's love is so crucial. Number one, emotional bonding. A mother's love fosters a deep emotional bond between her and her child. This bond provides the sense of security and belonging that is essential to healthy emotional development. You know, if you have read the book, The Little Prince, you see, it is only the heart that can see rightly because what is essential is invisible to the eyes. So the love of a mother is a bond. No, you cannot see it, but you can feel it. And I think all of us, right there, now we really have experienced that. We know that sometimes our mom will discipline us, but we know our mother really loves us. Number two is sense of security. A mother's love creates a safe and comforting environment for a child to explore the world. Knowing that they are loved unconditionally gives children the confidence to take risks and navigate challenges. You know, you remember that picture when a child is about to walk, then there in a few distance, the mother is stretching her arms and waiting for the child just to make that steps, and then at the end of that uh, journey, of the child, that experience, she will find or he will find embrace from the mom that it's okay to walk, it's okay to cross because the mom is there waiting for him or for her, no, holding her. So sense of security. Number three is self-esteem and confidence. A mother's love helps shape the child's self-esteem and confidence. When children feel loved and accepted for who they develop positive self-image and belief in their abilities. You remember when we have school activities when we were young? Can you still remember that? And then we are asked by the school, the teacher to recite a poem or sing a song or go in a group presentation. What do we do? All we have to do is to look for our mother in the crowd. If she is there, and then we are confident because she would be nodding and cheering for us and the first one to clap, whether we did it well or not. No, the presence of the mother is there. Number four is social development. The love and care a mother provides to each children important social skills such as empathy, compassion, and kindness. These qualities are essential in building meaningful relationships in the community, right? Because we were told, iba, and our relationship with others. You see, we are always reminded that values are caught, not taught. No amount of lecture that we do. But we see when we see our mother interact with community, interact with others, and then their kindness, their empathy. Sometimes she would say that we do not even have food, but when people come to our house, our mother would willingly share the the plate of bread, the slice of bread, or whatever it is. And these are the things that the children will quote as a value. No? So it is on social development. Then brain development. Research suggests that nurturing interactions such as those between mother and child contribute to healthy brain development. Mother's love stimulates neural pathways and lays the foundation for a child's cognitive abilities and emotional regulation. Because when just like a mother's touch, a mother's love, a mother's care. And in the process of development, these are all registered in the brain of the child, whether they are pleasant or unpleasant. Number 6 is resilience. A mother's love helps children develop resilience to face adversity, right? Knowing they have a supportive and loving figure to turn to during tough times gives children the strength to persevere and overcome challenges. So you see, a mother's love is very important for us to be resilient. Not just we just give them all the provisions of material or physical facilities, but it allows them also to adjust, especially in adverse situations, in the new environment, in times of danger. Then health and well-being. Studies have shown that children who receive love and affection from their mothers tend to have better physical and mental health outcomes later in life. A nurturing mother-child relationship can lower stress levels, boost immune functions, and promote overall well-being. So you see, it's very important, no? Just like how, that even if we observe now, the children are very stressed. And that's why it is important that for mothers also not to give gadgets to their children, but to let their children feel that they are loved, they are nurtured, they are cared. Because sometimes we even realize that this, especially the boys' children, when they do not really feel the love, the care, no, even mothers intend to love and care but did not give time. Even this behavior of going from one relationship, from one woman to another woman, this is something that happened to the children or to the boy child in a very early stage that needs healing. So no amount of number of women that they can have, because they really have to fill in the vacuum within them, the love of the mother. So, in essence, a mother's love is the cornerstone, the pillar of a child's development. It provides the foundation about which the children build their identities, relationships, and futures. From infancy to adulthood, the love of a mother shapes every aspect of a child's life, leaving an indelible mark that lasts a lifetime. Do you have any questions? Please write it at the comment section below. No? Know how I'm, but so when we lost the person who formed us from conception, infancy to our development to adulthood, how can we celebrate her absence when grief is now a constant presence? So we'd like to share to you that our community has just lost a mother, Rose Bulanda, and last May 9. So how can we imagine the family now celebrates Mother's Day? No, and then I know there are a lot also still in the grieving stage who lost a mother and now celebrating Mother's Day. I have also lost my mom many years ago. But during Mother's Day, I also just still feel the grief or even the vacuum within me. Okay. Okay, so celebrating Mother's Day after passing of your mother can be deeply emotional experience, but it can also be an opportunity to honor her memory and the love she shared with you. Here are some ways you can celebrate Mother's Day in remembrance to your mother. And when I will share it with you, I am also sharing it to myself, no? Number 1, reflect and remember. Take time to reflect on the cherished memories you shared with your mother. Look through old photographs, watch home videos, or visit places that hold special meanings to both of you. Reminiscing our happy times can be comforting ways to honor her memory. So for my mom, because she has really volunteered for in the church, so just like one of the special churches that is close to my heart is the Santo Rosario Parish Church of Turil, because this is the place where I could remember a lot of memories with my mom. And then also here in Davao City is Magsaysay Park, no, the Magsaysay Park. So when I visit there, it also brings me memories of my mom. So how about you? What are the places that you have to visit, no, to remember his? And then visit her resting place. If your mother is buried in a cemetery or has a memorial site, consider visiting her resting place. Spend some quiet time there reflecting on your memories and the impact she had in your life, because that would also keep her memory alive, no? Just and even to recognize that our mom has already left the body, and visiting the cemetery is also a way for us also to remind us that she has left, but her love for us is always present. Number three is create memorial. Consider creating a memorial in honor of your mother. This could be a scrapbook filled with photos and mementos, a piece of artwork, or a special garden dedicated in her memory. Engaging in creative project can be a healing way to express your love and keep her memory alive. You know, my mom loves to sing, and she has this compilation of the songs that has been sung to her by her mother, and then also her favorite songs. So what we did with my niece, Duchess, good morning, Duchess, is that we commissioned, no, we have her record her music in a very good studio. We paid for it, and we have that recorded for her. That's why it is something, no, that we can have her memory, and there are times that we have to play it back, and sometimes there are videos when she was still alive in many family gatherings, then it just replays. Sometimes when we think about her, it just pop up in Facebook, the memories, and then also it's really quite amazing, no, that they are still connected to us. The other thing that we can make our mothers alive is share stories of memories. Gather with family members or close friends who also knew and love your mother. Share stories, anecdotes, and memories of her, taking about her life and ways she touched others can be beautiful way to celebrate her legacy. So that is also one way. You know, for me, my mom, she really loves education, sending her children to school at all costs and at a very difficult and challenging times, because it is her dream to finish studies, but the Second World War came and she has to get married and have families. So these are the stories that we share that have not been our mother fought for our education, our life could have been different, and this will keep her alive. And of course, I know you have also a lot of stories about her. Then number five is continue her traditions. Honor your mother's memory by continuing the tradition she cherished. Whether it's cooking her favorite meal, visiting her favorite spot, or participating in an activity she loved, keeping her traditions alive can be a meaningful way to feel connected. So yes, that's really true. No, what are the traditions your mother likes? You know, my mom, she makes this handmade, and she even sew our dress, and also she cooks. No, so there are a lot of food that my mom, and she would say it the balbakwa. No, you know, the ox feet and the ox skin, and even the goat's feet that is being cooked. No, with a lot of how do you call that? Lots of, it requires a lot of fuel, no, or firewood, and but the process is so long, but the soup is so good. And now for us, because we don't eat anymore, no, beef or goat, so we just have the chicken's feet to be cooked. And we remember her while we are eating that food, because we know she loves it very much. So before I proceed, please share this video. You can, if you think you can help someone. Okay? So number six is acts of kindness. Pay tribute to your mother's spirit of love and kindness by performing acts of kindness in her honor. Volunteer at local charity, donate for a cause she cared about, or simply do something thoughtful for someone in need. Channeling her generosity and compassion can be a meaningful way to honor her memory. For my mom, Her acts of charities is to share to relatives, especially those who have students, solicitation for yearbook, for Boy Scout camping, for OJT. My mom would always really share whatever she has, and that's why when sometimes needs would come, you have also to, I would remember that if my mom would still be alive, she would be doing this for this particular relative or facilitate the request. And even to siblings, sometimes, in the family, there are a lot of chismis, and I would say, Ma, like this, and she would never say anything bad about siblings. And he said, why do you defend them? Because she said that because everybody is talking against them, who would even defend them in their absence. So these are things that traditions my mom has really imparted to us. Number 7 is self-care. So how do we celebrate Mother's Day? Especially those for all of us who have lost our mom. Mother's Day can be a challenging time emotionally, just like we go through the pain and the grief. So it's important to prioritize self-care. Take time to care for yourself and engage in activities that bring comfort and peace. Whether it's spending time in nature, practicing meditation, and enjoying a favorite hobby, to do whatever helps you feel grounded and supported during this time. Yes. So really, it's good to have self-care. No, I am very happy and grateful to have found a community, the Pranic Healing Foundation of the Philippines. Because, you see, it promotes meditation. And during meditation, actually, I can even intend to connect to my mom in the state of prayer and meditation. And how do you call that? Now I will cry. But actually, there are things that, you see, you have to say sorry for the things that uh, you missed to do knowingly or unknowingly, before she left the body. So in the meditation, usually with my community, uh, you can, it's really healing for self-care. And then you can also extend your gratitude continuously and even pray for her and ask her to also bless you, to forgive you. So these are self-care, because there are a lot of things that in our life, especially in the journey of our mother, especially when we are just too concerned about looking for money to spend for her the medication, looking for people who can help. But our time and presence in those trying times is not enough, actually. So it's also important for self-care to us to let go and to heal ourselves from guilt or inadequacy. Because when we pray and meditate, uh, we will always find the answer from our mom, that she understands, that she forgives whatever we had been missing. And she would wish good for us, and also will encourage us to do our best to love our children, whether they are biological or spiritual, or those children placed under our care. So it's important for self-care, no? Every day should be a self-care for mothers, for all of us, especially if we have lost our mom, because, even if we say we have given our best, but deep inside us, we know that we also feel that that best was not enough to return back, to pay back what our mother has given us. And that's why, if you remember, if we are Christians, we know the Blessed Virgin Mary, the pain that she has to go through as a mother, for her son, our Lord Jesus. And even for Ruth, because Ruth in the Bible, you see, is one where the where where the line where the Blessed Virgin Mary, Saint Anne is the line. Then there is that loyalty. You remember Ruth would say, I go where you go. Your people will be my people. And our family, is our immediate. So self-care is very important. And the spiritual nurturing for us is very important, because without God, without the spiritual guidance, without inner strength, we cannot survive. Because it's so amazing, the role of a mother. Physically, you have to be pregnant for 9 months. You have to care for your child. And as long as they are alive, they will need a mother. Right? As long, even us, we're grown-ups, we're adults, but we still feel we need a mother. So, kumusta? So, how's your mom? So, blessed are those who still have parents, who still have mother, or who have spiritual mothers. So, remember, there is no right or wrong way to celebrate Mother's Day after the loss of your mother. The most important thing is to honor her memory in a way that feels meaningful and comforting to you. Right? We are about to cry when we remember our mom. Okay? So, let us remember our mothers, because they are very responsible, and they are the pillar of how we have become to be better persons and to be able to serve our communities. So, that ends our Ask Mamalo episode 26, entitled Exploring the Power of Mother's Love, Celebrating Mother's Day After Loss.